Yeah, hi there. And I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the online TOEFL course, a 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And you are one of my students in the English language program here at California State University, San Bernardino. And I just read your essay, so overall, you have a pretty good organization. I think you have some adequate supporting detail. Everything fits together. You have a few minor language use issues. So your overall score, I'm going to put you to about 3.5 out of 5, 22 points out of 30. Now, if this were the midterm exam, this would put you, if you go to the syllabus, I think it's, where is it? This is going to put you about 82%. So there's some things that you can do that can improve your writing. And in this video, I'm going to actually error correct this entire essay so you can see some of the changes that you can make in the writing in order to improve your writing proficiency. Okay, so, all right, let's take a look at your introduction here. So you have outer space, a mysterious, fascinating, and remote thing, has attracted people to explore it since hundreds of years. I'm going to say here 4. Now, if I said since the 1500s, maybe you could use present perfect. So, but usually 4 plus the number. So has attracted people to explore for hundreds of years. And no need to say ago. I'll just say it like that. In order to enter the new outer space, our governments and scientists have made many efforts and spent a large number of money. I'm going to change this to on these endeavors. I think that's going to be work better here, which goes back to efforts. With the development of technology, I'm going to change the word order around a little bit here. With the development of science technology, our government has accomplished a lot of achievements. I think you can probably get rid of the preposition here, exploring outer space. Do our governments need to spend as much money as possible on exploring outer space? I like that. This is a good hook. For this question, different people have different views. A lot of people support let's say money for space research, but others have opposite ideas that governments, excuse me, that governments need to spend more money for our basic needs on Earth. In my opinion, I agree. Need to put that preposition in here with the standpoint that governments need to use more money to explore outer space. All right. So overall, that's a pretty good introduction here. What do we got? Let's take a look at your word count here. Yeah, it's 129 words for the introduction. And let me make your essay a little bit bigger so it'll be easier for you to see the kinds of changes I'm making here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's 10-point font. That's a little bit too much. Let's do 16. All right. In paragraph 2, so we have firstly, exploring outer space helps people find more space to live out of Earth. So Earth is a planet like Saturn, Jupiter, so typically we capitalize planets. With the advance of the medical level and the living standard, you might put the article here, the population of the earth is increasing, I'm going to say, at an amazing speed currently. According to the research, at present, the rate of the world population growth is about 1.1%. I like that detail. And by 2023, there will be 8 billion people. Check this out. What if we do this? A lot of times the there type construction is not real needed. 8 billion people will be living on Earth. It means that Earth, I'm going to change this to future here. So we'll need to hold more and more people. To live in the limited space and to endure much pressure. Maybe you might say here, I'm going to say to protect our homeland and offer more living space, exploring outer space is a feasible way to solve this problem. So I think overall this is pretty good. How many words do we have in this paragraph? Got about 106. You could probably, if you wanted to, you could add an example, but you have developed, I think, your paragraphs pretty well. But I'm going to just show you one thing you might consider adding here. I just added this one thing. You don't have to put it in there. But for example, a private company in the U.S. is coordinating with the government and with other countries to start inhabiting Mars in the next decade or so. This is actually happening. This is a great example you can use in here to show how we're already making plans to inhabit another planet in our solar system. All right, let's go to your next paragraph. So secondly, exploring outer space. I'm going to say you need a verb here, not a noun. So can discover more kinds of resources available for people's substances. The lack of food, water, petroleum. We have other resources that are crucial for the living of people and the development of the technology is the main problem in the world. If the resources are used up, our life would be in danger. Exploring outer space may help us find more resources that can be used by people on Earth and other stars. You might say used by people on Earth from other stars, planets. I think you could probably use an example here to help support this, right? So it's hard though, because you have to kind of think of these ideas. Yeah, you got 75 words in this paragraph. I think you could develop this idea. All right, let's take a look here. Here's what I added here. I added this to make this paragraph a little bit more developed. So to illustrate, some countries have sent spaceships into outer space and to the moon. During these trips, scientists have conducted experiments in anti-gravity environments, which we might say which have led to new innovations in computer technology, science, and the medical field. Because governments have allocated money to this type of research, scientists have found better ways to make life more sustainable here on Earth. So I took a 75-word paragraph and now we've developed it. I think it's around 136 words. So I think this adds a little bit more depth to this paragraph. So you say, thirdly, exploring outer space can help people find the origin of the universe. The origin of the universe and other creatures is a mystery for everyone who lives on Earth. For finding the truth, I would say to find the truth, I want you to go to the grammar part of my course. I think this is going to be helpful for you. I want you to study the lesson on gerunds and infinitives so you can understand a little bit better how to use that. So to find the truth, scientists have done, I'm going to say much research. Maybe, but it is still not a certain answer. Probably here. There is still not a certain answer for this question. Maybe make this a little more formal. Say, therefore, we need to spend more money on exploring the outer space to improve the science, technology, and level to find truth to this question. And again, this is kind of a short paragraph here, right? So I think you could probably, yeah, it's 76 words. We can develop this one a little bit more too. And here's what I added to this paragraph. Remember, your paragraph was about 74 words there. I basically doubled it. So I put here, for instance, a few years ago, scientists in the U.S. spent billions of dollars launching the Hubble telescope into space so that it orbits around the Earth. Since a telescope does not need to filter out the pollution and dust particles from our atmosphere, the telescope has a clear view of our galaxy. Maybe we can say it here because I said telescope. In fact, because of this telescope, scientists have discovered the existence of black holes and have been able to see the formation of stars. The discovery of black holes and the formation of stars and planets are helping scientists understand more about the origin of the universe, right? So that develops that a little bit more. And then here, you don't have to have a major conclusion here, but you should probably, at least in the conclusion, bring up these 3 points that you've already stated here. So in the conclusion, I would probably add this sentence: spending money on this type of research may lead to a discovery of more inhabitable planets. Scientists can develop new resources for Earth, and perhaps we can learn how our universe was formed. That's it. Now let's take a look at the entire essay one more time, and then I'll go into my website and make a few recommendations. Again, your score here is around 3.5 out of 5. What I'm doing here is I rewrote it to show you what kinds of changes you need to make in order to get a score of 5.5 or 30 points out of 30 on this task, on this writing task. Okay, let's take a look at our first paragraph. So outer space, a mysterious, fascinating, and remote thing, has attracted people to explore for hundreds of years. In order to enter outer space, our governments and scientists have made many efforts and spent a large number of money on these endeavors. I'm going to say here amount. With the development of science technology, our government has accomplished a lot of achievements exploring outer space. Do our governments need to spend as much money? Do they need to spend as much as possible? No, wait a minute. Word order here. Get rid of this. There. So do our governments need to spend as much money as possible exploring outer space? For this question, different people have different views. I'm going to say instead of a part of people, that's a little awkward. So some people support money for space research, but others have opposite ideas that governments need to spend more money for basic needs on Earth. In my opinion, I agree with the standpoint that governments need to use more money to explore outer space. Firstly, exploring outer space helps people find more space to live out of Earth. With the advance of the medical level and the living standard, the population of Earth is increasing at an amazing speed currently. According to the research at present, the rate of the world population growth is 1.1%, and by 2023, 8 billion people will be living on Earth. It means that Earth will need to hold more and more people to live in maybe a limited space, and will endure much pressure. I don't know, pressure. I'm going to change this to hardship. To protect their homeland and offer more living space, exploring outer space is a feasible way to solve this problem. For example, a private company in the U.S. is coordinating with the government and with other countries to start inhabiting Mars in the next decade or so. Secondly, exploring outer space can discover more kinds of resources available for people's subsistence. The lack of food, water, petroleum, and other resources that are crucial for the living of people and development of the technology is the main problem of the world. If the resources are used up, our life, you said are, right? Which is possible, so will be. So if you say are, then it's will. If you say were, then say would. So that straightens out that grammar issue there. Exploring outer space may help us find more resources that can be used by people on Earth from other stars or planets. To illustrate, some countries have sent spaceships into outer space and to the moon. During these trips, scientists have conducted experiments in anti-gravity environments, which have led to new innovations in computer technology, science, and the medical field. Because governments have allocated money to this type of research, scientists have found better ways in our next paragraph, we have thirdly, exploring outer space can help people find the origin of the universe. The origin of the universe and other creatures is a mystery for everyone who lives on Earth. To find the truth, scientists have done much research, but there is still not a certain answer to this question. Therefore, we need to spend more money on exploring the outer space to improve the science, technology, and level to find the truth to this question. For instance, a few years ago, scientists in the U.S. spent billions of dollars launching the Hubble telescope into space so that it orbits around the Earth. Since a telescope does not need to filter out the pollution and dust particles from our atmosphere, it has a clear view of our galaxy. In fact, because of this telescope, scientists have discovered the existence of black holes and have even been able to see the formation of stars. The discovery of black holes and the formation of stars and planets are helping scientists understand more about the origin of the universe. In conclusion, I approve the view that our governments need to spend as much money as possible to explore outer space. Spending money on this type of research may lead to a discovery of more inhabitable planets. Scientists can develop new resources for Earth, and perhaps we can learn how our universe was formed. All right, looking at my website, I'm trying to recommend, if there's any lessons in here that might help you improve either your grammar or your writing proficiency. Yeah, I'm going to say here it looks like probably count and non-count nouns. That would be a good one to take a look at. Is there anything else here? Let me see. Articles, lesson number 20. Lesson 21, prepositions. Lesson 24, gerunds and infinitives. I think that's a good lesson for you right now. That's probably it right there. So let's go into the writing area. Is there anything that you can do in the writing that can help you? think the answer is yes on that. So you didn't really have a focused thesis in the beginning of it. So where is that lesson here? Let me see. Probably lesson 4, creating sharply focused thesis statements for the independent writing task. I think lesson 5.5, how to show depth and complexity of thought. I think that's a good lesson for you to focus on right now. Lesson 5.6, writing the perfect paragraph. And then maybe lesson 6, writing the conclusion. But overall, you have a good sense of how to organize your ideas. So that's a good thing, right? So, but you could review some of these things in my course to help you improve your writing proficiency. All right, so thank you for completing this writing practice.